Have you ever paused for a moment and wondered why, despite your best efforts, things sometimes seem to slip from your grasp, while at other times, everything you've ever wanted seems to flow toward you effortlessly? What if I told you that the key to unlocking the life you dream of isn't buried in a complicated formula or hidden in miles of dense philosophy, but rather lies in a single universal principle, one that, once understood and practiced, can transform every aspect of your existence? This principle has been sought after by ancient sages, practiced by modern achievers, and passed quietly from generation to generation before exploding onto the global stage as the secret. By the time you reach the end of this video, you will not only understand how thoughts shape reality, but you'll also know exactly how to wield this power to bring more abundance, joy, love, and success into your life. No matter where you are starting from, imagine that every thought you think, every feeling you experience, is like a radio broadcast into the cosmos. Whether you realize it or not, your mind is constantly sending out signals, frequencies that draw back toward you situations, people, and opportunities vibrating at the same wavelength. This is not wishful thinking or some new age fad. It is the law of attraction in action, and it has been quietly influencing human destiny for centuries. The basic idea is startlingly simple. What you focus on expands. Yet, in its simplicity lies its power, because most of us have been conditioned to believe that our circumstances define us, when in fact the reverse is true. Our inner world is what shapes our external reality. Picture a young woman who has always wanted to write a book, but felt crushed by self-doubt. She kept telling herself, "I'm not a writer. Who would ever read what I have to say?" As those thoughts replayed in her mind like a broken record, her life remained stagnant. Day after day, her laptop sat unopened, and her dream faded into a dim, one day maybe. And then one morning, something shifted. She began to imagine herself holding her published book, feeling the pride course through her veins as she signed that very first copy for a fan. She didn't just visualize the finished product. She let herself feel the gratitude, excitement, and relief as though it was already real. Almost immediately, she found the courage to write her first chapter. Suddenly, the right editors seemed to appear. She connected with a supportive writing group, and before she knew it, her manuscript was on the desk of a major publisher. Her life didn't change because of some random stroke of luck. It changed because her thoughts changed. By shifting her focus from doubt to belief, she broadcast a new frequency that attracted everything she needed to manifest that dream. If you've never heard of the law of attraction before, or if you're familiar with it but have struggled to put its concepts into practice, this video is designed to meet you where you are. We will begin by exploring the mechanics of how thoughts truly become things. Delve into the 3 key steps: asking, believing, and receiving. And then unpack powerful daily practices like gratitude, visualization, and mindful presence that will help you anchor these principles in your life. Along the way, you'll hear compelling stories of ordinary people who achieved extraordinary transformations. By the end, you won't simply know what the secret is. You'll be equipped with the tools to start using it immediately. Whether your goal is to attract more money, better relationships, improved health, or simply a deeper sense of inner peace, let's start with the foundation. understanding how your mind operates as a transmitter. Everything you have ever created, from the clothes you wear to the relationships you nurture, first originated as a thought, an idea, a spark of inspiration, a vision in someone's mind. Before Thomas Edison invented the light bulb, he had to imagine it. Before the Beatles wrote "Let It Be," Paul McCartney heard it playing in his imagination. Every breakthrough, every masterpiece, every success story begins with imagined possibility. Yet human brains come wired with a default setting that often works against us. We are hyper-aware of what's missing. We notice what we lack: money, time, confidence. And those observations feed the very vibration that keeps those deficiencies in place. It's like pressing the "no signal" button on the radio we're broadcasting, and then wondering why the world seems silent. The moment you realize that you have the power to shift that broadcast, everything changes. Understanding this, you can begin to intentionally direct your thoughts toward what you want rather than what you fear. This is the basis of asking, the first crucial step in the secret process. Asking isn't about sitting alone with a blank piece of paper demanding a miracle. It's about getting crystal clear on what you truly desire. The more specific you can be, the stronger the signal you send out. "I want to be rich" is too vague. "I want to earn 50,000 euros this year to clear my debts and invest in my children's education" is a precise, actionable request. When you articulate your desire with such clarity, your mind can begin to align itself with the resources, both visible and invisible, that will bring that goal to fruition. Once you've asked, the next step is belief. This can feel like the most challenging phase because it requires you to confront and release limiting beliefs that may have taken root for decades. Those beliefs often disguise themselves as reality checks or prudent cautions. You might hear thoughts like, "I've never been good with money," or "I don't deserve that kind of success," or "People like me don't get to live happily ever after." Recognize that every time you repeat such thoughts, you're strengthening the signal in the opposite direction of what you truly want. Instead of blaming circumstances or other people, the practice here is to start catching yourself in the act. Literally noticing, there's that thought again, and then deliberately reframing it. If "I'm not good with money" pops up, you can replace it with "I am learning to manage money wisely and abundance is flowing to me now." Over time, this conscious rebroadcasting weakens old, negative brain patterns and establishes new ones wired for success. Perhaps one of the most powerful, underused tools in this process is visualization. When you imagine your desired future as vividly as possible, seeing, hearing, smelling, and feeling every detail, you give your subconscious mind a blueprint for what to manifest. Think of it as mentally rehearsing a scene you want to play out in real life. Olympic athletes have known this for decades. They mentally visualize every sprint, every jump, every finish line celebration, and their bodies and minds learn to make that imagined reality tangible. By combining clear mental imagery with strong positive emotion, joy, gratitude, excitement, you heighten the signal you broadcast out, making it impossible for the universe to ignore. When you see yourself driving that new car, hear the engine hum, feel the steering wheel under your hands, breathe in its new car's scent, and smile at how far you've come, your subconscious mind treats it like a present tense experience. It doesn't distinguish between what's happening now and what's vividly imagined. As a result, you start to notice opportunities that align with that vision, people who can help you, and doors opening that might have been invisible before. Of course, visualizing and believing are only half the story. The final step in the core trio is receiving, allowing yourself to feel as if your desire is already fulfilled. This is where gratitude becomes indispensable. When you cultivate genuine appreciation for what you already have, you align your energy with a vibration of abundance rather than lack. Imagine waking up every morning, closing your eyes, and listing 3 things you're already grateful for. The warmth of your morning coffee, the roof over your head, the health of a loved one. As you feel that sincere gratitude rising in your chest, warm, expansive, and buoyant, you send out a signal that says, "I'm open to receiving more." This practice serves as a vibrational upgrade that brings you closer to whatever it is you intend to attract. Gratitude acts like a magnet. The more thankful you are for what is, the more reasons you will have to be thankful in the future. But here's where many people get stuck. They think practicing gratitude means ignoring genuine pain or pretending everything is perfect. That's not the case. True gratitude doesn't deny difficulty. Rather, it acknowledges that even amid challenges, there is always something good to focus on. If you're struggling financially, you can still be grateful for a friend who supports you, or your own capacity to learn new skills. By anchoring in that gratitude, you shift your focus away from lack and toward possibility. In doing so, you open yourself to solutions and ideas that may have been drowned out by worry. There is another dimension of the secret that many overlook: the crucial importance of living in the present moment. It's easy to fall prey to anxiety about the future, worrying about whether you'll ever get that promotion, or to be haunted by regret over past mistakes, feeling like no matter how hard you try, you can't undo what's already done. Neither shadow helps you manifest a better tomorrow. In fact, those backward and forward-looking emotional states distract you from the current moment, where all creation truly happens. When you bring your attention fully to now, whether you're washing the dishes, graduating from university, or having coffee with a friend, you radiate a sense of peace and coherence. That calm, aligned energy is another magnet for positive experiences. It's in this state of present moment awareness that you're most likely to notice intuitive nudges or sudden flashes of insight, clues guiding you to the next right step toward your dream. As you begin to practice this way of living, asking, believing, receiving, expressing gratitude, and staying present, you'll naturally want practical tools to deepen your practice. One of the most celebrated of these is creating a vision board, a tangible collage of images, words, and symbols that represent your goals. When you place it somewhere you'll see daily, on your bedroom wall or as your phone's wallpaper, you're constantly reminding your subconscious mind of where you're headed. But a vision board is only as potent as the emotion you infuse into it. When you glance at the picture of that dream house or that exotic vacation spot, feel your chest swell with excitement. Imagine the laughter you'll share, and let a genuine smile spread across your face. That emotional charge transforms a simple collage into a dynamic attractor for your projected future. Another tool you'll often hear about is the art of affirmations. These are short, positive statements you repeat to yourself, ideally in the present tense, as though the desired outcome is already your reality. Instead of thinking, "I will be successful one day," you say, "I am successful now." Instead of "I hope to be healthy," you declare, "My body is strong, vibrant, and full of energy." Your subconscious mind doesn't debate the difference between past, present, or future in the same way your conscious mind does. It registers the affirmation as truth. By repeating these statements daily, especially first thing in the morning and last thing at night, you reprogram the part of your mind that often runs on autopilot, substituting old, limiting scripts with new, uplifting ones. If you find yourself hit by resistance, a wave of doubt, fear, or negative self-talk, know that you're not alone. Even the most ardent believers stumble when old, ingrained beliefs resurface. The trick is not to beat yourself up when this happens, but to treat it as a signal. Whenever fear whispers, "You can't do this," you can respond with a gentle but firm mental rebuttal. "I choose to believe the best is possible." Over time, those internal victories accumulate, weakening the emotional hold of those old, limiting stories. One way to accelerate this process is to keep a success journal. Each time something goes well, no matter how small, write it down. Maybe someone complimented your work, or you managed to stay calm in a stressful meeting, or you found a new contact who just might help your business. Documenting these wins reminds you that good things are happening all the time and reinforces your belief that more good is on the way. Now, let's consider how these principles apply in everyday life. Suppose your goal is to attract more wealth. You start by getting clear. You decide you want to earn an extra 10,000 euros over the next 6 months. You write that down daily, visualizing it as clearly as possible. Seeing the number in your bank account, feeling the relief of paying off a debt, imagining the joy of sending a gift to a loved one. You repeat affirmations like, "Money comes to me easily and frequently." And you practice gratitude each morning for the money you already have. Your salary, the spare change in your pocket, or even the generous tip you received last week. You stay alert for opportunities. A freelance project that pays well, a workshop that could boost your skills, or an investment tip from a mentor. Whenever doubt creeps in, you gently remind yourself of past times when a problem you worried about turned out fine. By mid-semester, you realize you've not only made that extra 10,000, but you've also attracted supportive colleagues, exciting new clients, and a fresh sense of financial confidence you never thought possible. Perhaps your desire is more relationship-focused, finding a partner who truly understands and cherishes you. You begin by clarifying what you value most: kindness, humor, emotional maturity. You visualize the two of you laughing over coffee, supporting each other's dreams, holding hands on a rainy afternoon, feeling the warmth of genuine companionship. You let yourself feel that joy as if it's happening now. You practice affirmations like, "I deserve love, and I attract compassionate, joyful relationships." You stay grateful for the loving connections you already have. Friends, family, pets. Recognizing that love is all around you. Almost as if on cue, you feel a sudden nudge to say yes to an invitation you would normally have declined. At that gathering, you meet someone who shares your values. Conversations flow easily, and you both sense something rare and genuine from your very first exchange. Was it chance? You might call it serendipity. But in truth, It was your vibrational match calling you into form. Of course, the secret is not a magic wand that zaps away every problem forever. Life will always bring challenges. Bills you didn't anticipate, disagreements with people you love, health hiccups that test your resolve. The difference is that when you embody these principles consistently, you handle obstacles from a place of empowered choice rather than panic or despair. You can still ask the universe for guidance. Show me the path through this difficulty. And you can lean into practices like meditation, journaling, and gratitude to maintain your inner alignment. In other words, you become the director of your life story, not just a victim of external circumstances. As you continue to hone your mastery of the secret, your days begin to feel more like a dance than a slog. You wake up early not out of obligation, but from excitement, eager to spend time visualizing and setting intentions. You notice that setbacks come less frequently, and when they do, they serve as accelerants for growth, nudging you to innovate, collaborate, or dig deeper into what truly lights you up. Friendships and professional networks expand in unexpected ways, because your positive energy draws people toward you like iron filings to a magnet. Even mundane tasks, commuting to work, cooking dinner, paying bills, take on new meaning as opportunities to practice mindful presence and gratitude. Instead of rushing through life, you start to savor it, because you realize that every moment is a thread in the tapestry of your becoming. As we draw this journey toward a close, it's essential to remember that mastery is not about perfection. It's about commitment. Some days your mind will chatter, old doubts will clench your chest, and it will feel easier to slip back into fear. On those days, be kind to yourself. Gently remind yourself of the moments when you saw the law of attraction at work in your favor, when just by changing a thought, you felt your world shift. Keep a folder of your proof, whether it's a screenshot of an unexpected bank deposit, a heartfelt thank you note from a friend, or a snapshot of an email confirming a sudden opportunity. When discouragement creeps in, revisit that folder. Let it anchor you in the truth that this universal principle is real and that you have already experienced its power. Over time, you'll discover that the more you give, kindness, support, resources, the more flows back to you. Generosity becomes a natural expression of your abundant mindset, creating a positive feedback loop that elevates everyone around you. You learn to trust your intuition because you've repeatedly seen how the universe answers your quietest questions. Is this job right for me? Should I move to that new city? Is it time to start my own business? You begin to recognize those inner whispers as the universe steering you toward the highest version of yourself. And as you step into that higher frequency more and more, life stops feeling like a series of random events and starts feeling like a finely tuned orchestration in which you play the starring role. So, take a deep breath and feel into this moment, the infinite potential that lies within you right now. Let this be your invitation, your sacred permission slip, to begin asking for what you most desire, to believe without reservation, and to open your heart wide enough to receive. Notice how even considering these possibilities ignites something inside you, a spark of excitement or a flutter of hope. That spark is real, and it is your compass. As you go forward from here, make a promise to yourself. No matter how many times you stumble, you will get back up. No matter how daunting your goals seem, you will keep your vision alive. And no matter what, you will be grateful, deeply, sincerely, wholly, for every blessing you already enjoy and every new one that's already on its way. Remember, you are not alone in this. Every great achiever, from inventors who changed the world to artists whose creations stirred souls, has walked this path of asking, believing, and receiving. Their successes prove that the secret is not just a catchy title. It is a living, breathing guide to a life of purpose, passion, and possibility. Today, you stand at the threshold of your own transformation. All that remains is for you to take that first step. Decide right now that you will no longer settle for less than you deserve. Decide that you will tap into the power within you, that you will broadcast the frequency of your deepest dreams, and that you will live in the joyful certainty that the universe always conspires in your favor. Now, as you move into your day or evening, carry this truth in your heart. What you focus on grows, and what you feel expands. Visualize, believe, feel, and express gratitude every chance you get. Stay present, stay open, and watch how the tapestry of your life unfurls in ways more wondrous than you ever imagined. The secret is yours to use, not as a one-time trick, but as a lifelong companion, your guide to creating the life of your dreams, moment by moment. Thank you for joining me on this journey. Go forward with courage, with faith, and with an unshakable knowing that everything you desire is already seeking you.